Okay, so before I make this video, two things I need to say. One, no, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Two, yes, I need to shave. Number two is really hard to believe, but hey. Okay, so they say like back then, whenever back then was, for all we know, kind of get what I'm saying when I get into it. So they say like back then we used to live like, at least biblically, like if you want to go there, I don't really have too much in touch of other things, but we used to live like 300, 600, 900 years, 1,000 years, and at the same time, you really got to think about it. If you were born up in an American household and you were brought up, I'm just going to say through biblical terms or Christian terms, or however you want to look at it, like, people believe that like the world's only 2,000 years old. Some people believe it's 5,000 years old. And if that's the case, how are you measuring your years and from when? And it depends on also like what calendar you're using at the same time. I guess it's the same thing. And I just like wanted to take like a small dip into this because it's like, when you think about it, connect the dots. If there's dots there. So we used to think the earth was flat. Yes, I know we still think the earth is flat. Okay, some people thought it was round, some people now think it's round. Okay, it's whatever you believe, I don't care. But if we believe that every time the world goes around the sun, that's 1 year, right? And they follow? How are they tracking years back then? Well, we track how many times the sun goes around. But have they always used the sun? What about them guys that were like, hey, I'm gonna worship the moon? So, thought about this. If the sun goes around 365 times-ish for a year, and if this happens repetitively 70 times, then you're 70 years old. But at the same time, if you're like, hey man, I'm gonna track the moon, and I'm a crazy guy trapped in a cave who's writing scripture that's gonna be found by some other crazy guys later on, I'm not bashing nobody, just being funny. Let's think about that. The moon will have a complete cycle roughly 28 to 30 days, roughly once a month. So if you tracked your years going by moon cycles, yes, I know I sound crazy, you would have roughly 12 of those a year, maybe 13. And just to like round things off, we'll say 10. Let's just say you have 10 years per year. We can't communicate with these people from 1,000, 2,000 years ago. But wouldn't it make sense if they were sitting down going, hey Tom, I just turned 687 today. So you just turned 68-ish today? I mean, you think about it. In a 50-year period, say you have 12 cycles, per 50, that's 600 lunar cycles, if I'm thinking about this right. So wouldn't that mean that like, if this guy dies at 50, he's gonna write down that he was 600, or his family's gonna write down that he's 600, if they follow the lunar cycles for every cycle is a year? It would kind of make sense when they said, hey, we had 4 years of winter, 4 months of winter, or it's gonna be a long winter, 8 years of winter. Kind of brings the fantasy to life. I could be completely nuts, but I'm just saying. I've really thought about it. But anyway, if you like it, cool. Like it. If you don't, you think I'm crazy, Don't like it, I don't care. Comment what you think below. But cool stuff, guys.